The book throws out scientific notation, but this time we're talking about small numbers. Small numbers, big numbers, it doesn't matter, it's all done the same way, and it's kind of a review here. Let's just review this. If I'm writing 7,800,000 in scientific notation, how do I write that out? 7,800,000 in scientific notation. Remember, the number has to be between 1 and 10, and then the exponent of 10 is always going to be how many places you move the decimal. So Alex says 7.8. 6th power, yeah. Okay. And again, Alex got that by this. The decimal started here. I needed to move it here to make it a number between 1 and 10, so it moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. That's where this exponent of 10 came from. Same thing is true with decimal numbers. If I had 0.00000034, you are going to do the same exact thing. You're going to move the decimal so that it's between 1 and 10, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has to go between the 3 and the 4 because that's between 1 and 10. It's still times 10. It's still how many places I moved the decimal, which was how many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But when it's a decimal number, it's a negative exponent. Negative exponents give you decimal numbers. Okay, and again, please don't get it in your head that because the exponent is 6 means there's 6 zeros, because there's not. Okay, the exponent is -7 doesn't mean that there's 7 zeros, because there's not. It's how many places you move the decimal. Okay. If I was going the other way and I had 4.39 times 10 to the negative 5th power, what is my answer to that going to be? How many zeros after the decimal am I going to put? Remember, I'm going backwards this way 5 jumps. How many zeros am I going to check? 4. Why not 5? Because one of the jumps was taken up with that one digit there that wasn't a 0. This is going to be 0.000439. It started here, I moved it back 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this isn't new, we did this before. Josh?
Wait, so if it's like 3, 4, and then like some like.
Give me this, you said 3.4 times 10? Is that what you're
No, like
asking?
3, 0.4, and then a bunch of zeros, like 6 zeros or something. And then it would be, like, wouldn't that be positive or something? Wouldn't that be positive?
Well, first of all, you would have to change it to scientific notation because it's just 3.4 as a number.
I know, but then it would be like 10 to the positive something, wouldn't it? Or would it still be?
It would be 10 to the positive 0 power or whatever, because it's not, this is not a big number, this is 3.4, it's 3 4/10. These zeros don't mean anything. You wouldn't need to change this in scientific notation because it's not a big number or a small number, it's a medium size sort of number. Okay, now, getting back to this, and here's where many of you still making mistakes, is write these examples down. With scientific notation, we either have multiplication or we have division. And we're still struggling with this. Let's say I have 3 times 10 to the negative 8th power, and I'm multiplying that by 6 times 10 to the 5th power. This is multiplication. 2 parentheses next to each other is multiplication. This is division. 8.1 times 10 to the negative 5th power over 3 times 10 to the negative 8th power. Let's do that one second. How do I do multiplication in scientific notation? You do not write this back in standard form and put 0.00008 and then try to multiply it by 60,000 and then try to figure it out. No, don't do that because you'll just confuse yourself with all those zeros and decimal places. Simply done, Zach, it is.
You multiply 3 times 6.
You multiply the left sides together. 3 times 6 is 18. You put down the times 10. And then what do you do now?
Subtract.
You do not subtract. You add the exponents together. What happens when I take a negative 8 and add 5 to it? Sam, poppin'? Negative 8 plus 5
is negative 3.
is negative 3. Am I done with this problem?
No.
No, because it's not in scientific notation. What do I need to do? This decimal has to come back one place and make it 1.8. Now here's where you have to be incredibly careful because I made this one smaller, so I need to make this one bigger. What is a negative 3 plus 1?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. And that is the answer to that. Taylor, why is negative 3 plus 1 negative 2? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
So you owe somebody $3, Taylor, and I give you $1. You pay them back that $1. How much do you now owe? No. You owe me $3. Alex gives you $1. You give me that $1. How much do you now owe me? $2.
But wait, where did the 1 just like appear from?
Because of this. I started with 18. I had to move the decimal to make it between 1 and 10. I had to make this a smaller number to change from 18 into 1.8 in order to balance that off. Because I made this smaller, I have to add 1 to this.
So if you were to move it like 2 spots, if you had to move it over 2 spots, you'd add 2.
Yes, but if I had to move it the other way, and if I made this actually a smaller number, or if I made this a bigger number, I'd have to do the opposite and subtract. For example, here, Taylor, let's say I had 0.0026 times 10 to the, I don't care, negative 5 power. If I have to move this decimal to make it a number between 1 and 10 and make it bigger, 2.6, I made this 3 bigger, that means I have to balance it off by making this 3 smaller. And a negative 5 and a negative 3 gives me a negative 8. Because that is 3 smaller than negative 5. Has to balance out.
Okay.
Now, this one here. Multiplication was addition of exponents. And here again, you have to be very careful over here because now we're dealing with negative exponents. First thing I do is divide this out. How many times does 3 go into 8.1? 2.7 times, just take my word for it, times 10. Now here's where you have to be careful. I am subtracting these two, and a negative 5 minus a negative 8 actually ends up being a negative 5 plus 8, because when you subtract a negative, you're adding. You end up with negative 5 plus 8, which actually ends up being to the 3rd power. It's the beauty of the upper level mathematics. Let me give you one for you to try. Repetition, after all, is the mother of all learning. 4.8 times 10 to the negative 3rd power over 3 times 10 squared. Do that for me and give me the answer in scientific notation. an answer? Everybody a chance to try here. Not hard, just confusing. Morgan Richards, what do you got?
1.6 times 10 to the negative fifth power.
Let's check it out. 3 goes into 4.8, I agreed 1.6 times.
10 to the negative.
Okay, here you have 2, but you have to subtract 2, and a negative 3 minus 2 is indeed a negative 5.
Yes!
1.6 times 10 to the negative 5 power.
Why did you have to subtract that?
This is division. Division exponents get subtracted.
Oh, what?
If it's in parentheses next to each other, it's multiplication, and then exponents get added. Say a 5.
How did you do 4.6?
3 goes into 48, I just did it. I'm not here to do the math for you, Sam. 3 into 4.8, 3 goes into 4 once, 3 goes into 18 6 times. Not here to do the math part of this. You should be able to do the math. I'm here to get you the. Taylor, you don't understand why negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5? Okay, again, if you think about it on a number line, Taylor, here's negative 3. When you subtract numbers, you go to the left. Okay, just like on any number line.
Yeah.
If I go this way 2 places, it goes negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. Negative 3 minus 2 comes back 2 places. You owe me $3, Taylor, and then you owe me $2 more. You're gonna owe me $5.
Okay.
I'm getting there, don't worry. How about this one? 6 times 10 to the negative 18th power times 4 times 10 to the negative 7 power. Give me an answer to that. And again, not writing out a bunch of zeros. The reason we do this is it's a lot easier to do it this way than to write it all out. Taylor seems like she's getting the gist of this. So what do you come up with, Taylor?
2.4 times 10 with a little negative 6. Or negative 26.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's take a look and see. First of all, if you do the multiplication part, you get 24. Not good, but that's okay. Times 10 to the negative 25th power. Now, in order to get it back into scientific notation, I make this one smaller. 24 to get to 2.4, I make this one smaller, so that means I need to make this one bigger. And a negative 25 plus 1 should be a negative 24. Josh, what's your question? One more. 1.2 times 10 to the negative 8th power divided by 3 times 10 to the negative 4th power. Who's going on this one here? Ashley Maylats.
4.0 times 10 to the negative 13.
4 times 10. Why is this thing not right? 4 times 10 to the negative.
Wait, why is it?
3 goes into 1.2.4 times.
Oh,
When you
negative
bring this to the top, it becomes, when you subtract a negative, this actually becomes a plus 4.
Ah,
So you end up with a negative 4 exponent. If you get this in scientific notation, you have to go 1 to the right.
oh.
Making this 1 bigger, you have to subtract 1 from that.